Hello, everybody. So this is the podcast for the January 29th. It's the level 2 of doing elimination. So, excuse me, in level 1, what you guys saw, your goal was to get a coefficient on one of the variables to be the same number, but one of them to be positive and one of them to be negative. So when you added these things together, one of them would just cancel out. Is equal to, so that 14, I think that was. And like this one, they are the same number, but they don't, sorry, they are the same number, but they're not opposite in sign. So you pick either the top or the bottom and you multiply a -1 through it. So the top remains this, and the bottom then turns into this. So these numbers now are the same, but opposite in sign. So when you add this together, they would cancel. Okay, so those were the two strategies you guys had. Now for these, what you're going to notice is the numbers in front are not the same number. That's a 1, that's a 3, a 9 and a 3. Multiplying by a -1 isn't going to help, or just adding them together isn't going to help, because that's what the strategies were here. You just added them together because they already were set to cancel. Just to clarify, set to cancel means they're the same number but opposite sign. They are exactly the same number, but they're not opposite in sign. So I needed to get one of them to be opposite in sign. So how about I take the top and multiply it all by -3. Now you may be going, well, why is he choosing -3? Well, just let me do it. It has to distribute to everything that's in there. So that's -27x minus 3y is equal to, so I don't do my arithmetic incorrectly, let me just make sure. So that'd be -84. And the bottom is still, it hasn't changed. And there we go. These coefficients on the y's are now the same number but opposite in sign. Okay, so they would cancel. Nothing said I had to go after the y's to get these the same. I could have turned this number into a -9 by multiplying all of this by -3. So then the x's would have canceled. I'll talk more about that in a second. Let's just finish this one. So if I just add this together, equals -96. Then I'm going to divide by -24. And I get x equals, so 96 divided by 24. I know they're both negative, but oops, helps if I type it in right. So x is equal to 4. Now that you know your x value is 4, you still have to find the y value. And you do that by distributing it into either equation. How about the bottom one? 3 parenthesis plus 3y is equal to -12. The 4 is the x value, so I have 12 plus 3y is equal to -12. Subtract the 12, and I get 3y is equal to -24, divide by 3, and I get x is equal to -8. Whoops. Y, on the y, not an x. Good grief, my handwriting was bad, and I misinterpreted. That was a y. So then y, -8. Okay? I'm not trying to confuse you when I show you this. I chose to go after making these numbers the same. What if I left the top alone and went after the bottom instead by multiplying the bottom by -3? And I'm choosing that specifically so that the x's cancel. So I get -9x minus 9y is equal to 36. So when I add this together, I get -8y is equal to 28 plus 36 is 64. And when I divide by -8, I get y is equal to negative 8. Okay. So as your first step, it's up to you, whichever one you think is easier. And what becomes easier will change as you do this. Okay. Like to get these to be the same number, that's not very easy to do. But this, all I'd have to do is multiply it by 2 to get it to be a 12. So I'm going to choose to go after the y's. When I say go after them, I mean to get them to cancel out. So notice the first thing I did was I just rewrote the top. Okay, I'm suggesting that you also do that. It isn't possible to do this in your head. It's not, absolutely not. So just rewrite the top because I'm choosing to modify the bottom. If I was modifying the top, then I would write that down too. Okay, so I get 8x minus 12y is equal to negative 8. So I get 14x, those cancel out, equals 28 divided by 14, divided by 14, x is equal to 2. So x is 2, I have to find the y. You choose which equation you want to fill it in. I like this one because the numbers are smaller than that one. So I have 4 times whatever x is worth, minus 6y is negative 4. X is worth 2, I'm just going to fill it in there. 8 minus 6y is negative 4. Subtract the 8. Negative 6y is equal to negative 12. Divide by negative 6. Y is equal to 2. Okay. If you'd like to see it again, on different ones, I'm happy to do these too. You could either multiply the top by 3. So then that becomes a negative 3x, and this is a positive 3x, so that would cancel. Or if I multiplied, the bottom by 3, then this would become a negative 9, so these would cancel. It's your call. I like changing the bottom one because the numbers are smaller than doing the top. So I'm going to do it by modifying the bottom. So the top I'm going to just rewrite. The bottom becomes 9x minus 9y is equal to 27. So I get 8x, this cancels out, equals, so what's that, 8? So divide by 8, and you get x is equal to 1. Fill that 1 back into either equation. It does not matter. Again, I'm going to use the bottom one because the numbers are smaller. 3 times 1 is 3. Minus 3y is equal to 9. Subtract the 3. Negative 3y is equal to 6. Oops, 6, not negative 6. Divide by negative 3, and you get y is equal to negative 2. Okay. Doing the next one. I could either multiply the bottom by 6, negative 6, so that those cancel, or I would multiply the top by 2. Okay. I don't know if there's a real advantage here, and if I did that, then the y's will go away because that become so. What I'm stammering about is it's not going to matter which one you do. How about I do the bottom by negative 6? So 6x minus 7y is equal to 37. Negative 6x, let's go with 14 times negative 6. And I get negative 84. Come on, catch up. Here, boy. Equals, and then, oh, I don't know where I got that from. Oh, that's the top. What am I thinking? Good Lord. Negative 6 times negative 9 is 54. Whew. That was painful. Sorry about that. That cancels out. So what would that be? Negative 91. Y is equal to 37 plus 54. Would it be 91? Woohoo! Divide by negative 91 and you get negative 1. So the y value is negative 1. How about I fill it in for this one right here? So I'd have 6x minus 7 times whatever y is worth is, it's positive 37. I don't know where I got that little scooper from. I'm going to fill in the negative 1. So I have 6x plus 7 is equal to 37. Subtract the 7, and you get 30. Divide by 6, and you get 5. And there you go. This is the name of the assignment. Thank you for your time. Have a great one.